So much has changed, so much has happened over the last couple of weeks, probably even a little bit less than a week. A lot has changed. We had phase 1 we were coming up on, then we had as plans as a church for phase 2 and 3 and what we were going to do, but then all the phases seemingly went away when all the safer at home orders were rescinded. And we've been working diligently this entire time and praying through and trying to use the best wisdom we can to think about how we're going to reopen our services. With all that being said, this Sunday, May 24th, we're going to be having services again here in person. Now, there's a few things I want to let you know, and that's what this video is all about, so you can get a better understanding of what you're going to experience when you come to church on Sunday, if you come to church on Sunday. Because here's the thing, if you want to stay safer at home, go ahead and do that. We're happy to have you do that. There's no pressure from the church that you have to be here in person. And to that end, we're still going to have our online videos on Facebook and YouTube. Our kids ministry is going to continue to have our kids videos that Pastor Jessica's been putting together for Fox Valley Kids. But if you're uncomfortable, we want to make sure that you feel fine and safe staying at home. So go ahead and do that. If you'd like to come with your own PPE, please come and do that. If you have any kind of illness or symptoms or anything like that, we need you to stay home, however. We want to make sure that we don't spread anything to anyone else in the church. So if you have any symptoms whatsoever, please stay home. So what we're going to do this May 24th, we're going to have 2 services. We're going to have an 8:30 service and a 10 o'clock service. Each service is only going to be an hour long, and we want to do something particular for those who may be in that category that has been described as vulnerable. So for those that are 60 or better, we want to encourage you to come to our 8:30 service. If you're not in that category, we want to encourage you to come to our 10 o'clock service so that we make sure that we don't have a mix there. We want to keep our very important population of our church who may fit in that category as safe as possible. So again, 8:30 a.m. is our designated service for those 60 or better, and our 10 o'clock service, we encourage everyone else to come and be a part if you would like to. Now, here's something that everyone needs to do. You need to email the church so that we know which service that you're going to be coming to. We want to make sure that we keep up to date on who all is coming. So in case we need to help coordinate anything with the health department, that we can do that very thing. Also, it'll help us to prepare and know how many people may be coming. So if you'd like to come to church this Sunday, just simply email the church at mail@fvcf.org, put your name, the number of people who are going to be coming with you, and which service that you'll be a part of. So if you could do that, that would really help us. Well, let's get to the tour. I want to take you right over here to let you know what's going to happen when you arrive. When you arrive on Sunday, our doors are going to be propped open just like this. So that way, you don't even have to open the door. Another thing you need to know is that our doors are not going to open until 15 minutes before the service starts. So for the 8:30 service, the doors won't open until 8:15. If you arrive earlier than that, you can stay in your car and you'll know when to come in when we prop the doors open at 8:15. So make sure you're aware of that. That's the same thing that's going to happen for our 10 o'clock service. We're going to try to shift everybody from first service out so that we can have a clear path to come in for second service, so the doors won't open until 9:45 for our second service. So that way we can do that. Another thing is our greeters are not going to be shaking hands. They're not going to be hugging, and we ask you to do that same thing. I know we all want to see one another and greet one another like we always have, but for the time being, we're going to ask you to maintain that social distancing, no handshakes, no hugs, no anything like that. So just do a nice smile and a kind hello, and you can head right in to the worship service. We also ask you not to bring anything that's non-essential with you to the service. For instance, a lot of people might bring their own coffee into church on a Sunday. We'd ask you to leave that in your car or leave that at home for this time. Some of the guidelines that we're trying to follow is not having people bring extra things into the building. So if you would do that, we greatly appreciate that. One thing you're going to notice when you come in, and we don't have it yet, but we're going to be adding some hand sanitizer stations. So right when you come in the front door, we're going to have a new sanitizer mounted right here on the wall, so you can come right in the door, get some hand sanitizer on yourself, and keep yourself and others safe and clean. Well, I want to let you know, too, some of the things that have been going on. Our cleaning services, that is actually through someone in our church, Andy Kramer. He's done a lot of work to help disinfect the building. He's got hospital grade disinfectants that he uses. He's always used for our church building. But also, he's got special supplies that are rated on the EPA registry to kill coronavirus. So all of the hard surfaces in our lobby and in our worship center and in the front hallway, in the restrooms, they're all going to be wiped down. On top of that, he's got disinfectant even for the fabric of our chairs. So our entire area is going to be disinfected and killed that way. So there's going to be a lot going on that way. However, we're not going to have our cafe open. We're not going to have you sitting down in the foyer at our cafe tables like we usually do. We're not going to have paper bulletins. We're doing what's called a touchless service. So when you come, you're going to come right in the door, down the hall, and you're going to head right into the worship center. So when you come in here, we're going to show you as well, we've got a second hand sanitizer station that you can use right here by the water fountain. And this one has already been here. We'll have other freestanding hand sanitizers throughout the complex as well. But we also want to ask you not to use the drinking fountain. That's going to be off limits, so we don't have anything that way that can get from one spot to another. When you come in, you're going to come into our worship center right from the front door. You're going to come in here. And there's a few things that we want to let you know on how to find your seat. So first of all, when you come in, I'm going to ask you not to mix and mingle and try to say hello to people up front. Remember, keep that 6-foot social distancing. But I want you to find a seat quickly. And when you or you and your family find a seat, I want you to stay there in your seat. And what you can do is slide to one end or the other of your row so that we can make it easy for people to enter that row. Another thing that we're going to do is when you do have a seat and someone comes in near you, make sure you leave at least 2 chairs space in between you and that next person or that next family group. We want to maintain that 6-foot social distancing in any way we can. The next thing is that we're only going to seat in every other row in the worship center here. So you're not going to be too close front to back with anybody either. So when you come in, find a seat quickly. Make sure you keep a couple of chairs open in between you two. And just to let you know which rows are going to be available and which are not, we're going to have signs on the end of each row that is blocked off that says, please do not sit in this row. We want to make sure that we keep that distancing. Also, at the end of our service, because we have a second service coming, and just because we don't want to mix and mingle too much, we're going to dismiss people by row, kind of like at a wedding, starting with the back of the worship center on forward, so that you can find your way quickly right out to your car. You're going to head right to the front door, not touching anything, not interacting with people too closely. So we want to dismiss people right away so that they can continue to move on their way. We can get ready for our next service. Again, this Sunday, 8:30 and 10 o'clock, we're going to have in-person worship services. If you're not interested in coming, you'd rather stay safer at home, please do that. But we want to welcome those of you that would feel comfortable in coming. And again, at 8:30, that's going to be designated for our 60-plus group so that we can keep them safe and maybe a little bit more space from the rest of the congregation. Also, make sure you email us to let us know which service you'll be attending. mail@fvcf.org. And we're excited to worship together this Sunday with you. Again, we'll still have all of our online venues. We're not going to have anything for the kids' ministries going on. The kids are going to stay with their families in the worship centers. We're not having nursery, preschool, elementary, Fox Valley Kids, and any of those things. But we look forward to being together. And if you can't be here in person, we look forward to seeing you online. Have a great day, everyone.